Well, aloha team, it's Jason here with Guaranteed Rate, your top 1% mortgage loan originator. Prior service, combat, retired, you know the deal. You've been watching my videos for a while. Well, today we're going to talk about, hey Jay, when should I apply for the VA home loan? That is a great question, and let's just dive into that right now. So, bottom line, there's a couple different times or reasons why you'd want to apply for your VA home loan benefit. Obviously, if you're thinking about buying your first home and you've served our country and you're actually eligible because of previous videos that we've talked about determining whether you've received your certificate of eligibility and you're actually qualified, that would make sense right then, right? And then some people are like, well, Jay, I'm thinking about buying a home right now, but it's going to be about at least 5 or 6 months before we take action on it. Well, there's never a wrong time to start the application, because bottom line, like I always tell everyone, you're here, you want to get here, and you got to build the bridge or the plan to get there, right? So obviously the sooner that you can start the application process, the better. Now, then again, there's going to be other people that will say, hey Jay, but I've heard that my pre-approval letter is only good for so long. Now, that's a yes and no, and it's kind of a trick statement and a trick question. Typically in our industry, your VA or your pre-approval letter for your VA home loan benefit is typically tied to your credit report, right? Because your credit report has a shelf life. It's typically 120 days from the day that most lenders pull it. And most lenders, to include us, typically only make pre-approvals good for 90 days. However, here's the catch. A pre-approval letter is only as good as the conditions set forth within the pre-approval, meaning you still got to keep your job. You may have to make sure that you don't add or reduce any debt. Yes, believe it or not, even if you reduce debt, that could have an impact on whether or not you're pre-approved or so on and so forth. So a lot of times with my clients that have a long glide path and they want to get started early, I'll say, okay guys, I get it. You're not going to hopefully close on a home at least for 5 months, but here's where we are right now. And here's what I need you to do. I need you to keep working, right? Keep your job. Now, granted, if you're going to get a promotion or something that's going to help enhance or make your position better, awesome, right? Same thing, I'm also going to say, okay guys, don't be going out and trying to buy a bunch of new stuff. Don't add any new debt, right? Because that is going to affect your ability to repay. As long as those things remain the same, and at the 90-day mark, I'm going to call you and say, okay, have you been looking for a home? No, not really. Or yes, we have, it just hasn't been competitive. I'm going to ask you, okay, has anything changed? And they'll be like, well, what do you mean? Well, did you quit your job? No. Still got the same job? Awesome. Have you acquired any new debt? No, Jay, we haven't. Okay, awesome. I'm still going to honor that pre-approval letter. However, I am not going to pull a new credit report until you actually are getting ready to pull the trigger and submit an offer on a new property or on a property, right? Because I don't want to have to pull your credit more than we absolutely need to, right? So again, it's really going to be dependent upon the lender that you work with, but that's the way that I roll. Now, when's another time that you should apply for your VA loan? Let's say you already own a home, but you didn't know that you had a VA home loan benefit available to you and you went the conventional route, right? And you've owned your home for a while, or maybe you haven't even owned it for a while, but bottom line, you've owned it, and then you realize, holy cow, I could use my VA home loan benefit and actually get a lower rate. That's a great time to apply for your VA home loan benefit, right? The next time also is, let's say you already own a home and you're already using your VA home loan benefit, but the current markets have basically tipped in your favor to where the interest rate is better than what you currently have. That would be a time to reapply for your VA home loan benefit and then do what we would call either a streamlined refinance or a cash out refinance, depending on how much equity you've actually earned in your home during the time that you've owned it. So hopefully those answered your questions today. Keep those things coming because we love doing this and we love putting out pearls of wisdom. And again, like we say, here you get the real deal, not the raw deal. Other than that, make it a great day and see you on the flip side.